Hey guys, today we're going to continue our work with angle relationships. And specifically, we're going to look at exterior angles of triangles. So let's start looking at those relationships. So let's draw a triangle, but I want you to extend out one of the legs or one of the sides. So the relationship that we're looking at says if we have two inside angles, we can add those together to get the measure of the exterior or the outside angle. So 40 plus 60, that gives us 100. So this outside angle is 40 degrees. So let's take one more look at that. So let's try another one. So one more time, let's say I had 50 degrees here and 70 degrees here. I can take those two inside angles that are opposite of that outside angle, add them together, and that's going to tell me the measure of that outside angle. Well, I can also go backwards if I need to. So let's say that we have this relationship right here. Let's say I have 140 degrees as my outside angle, and I tell you that one of the opposite inside or interior angles is 40 degrees. I can find this missing angle. What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So I can take that outside angle, subtract that inside, and I find that that other missing inside angle is 100 degrees. So let's take a look at how you may see this in your work. So let's look at example 1. So let's draw this triangle right here. And first let's label the corners or the vertices. So I've got K, L, M, and I'm going to tell you that this vertex or this ray out here is called U. I'm going to tell you that this angle is 50 degrees, and then I'm going to put this symbol in the corner. And your question may say something like this: find the measure of angle KMU. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find what it is they're asking me to answer. So they want me to find the measure of KMU. Well, let's think about this relationship. That's an outside or an exterior angle. Do they give us the two inside angles? Well, yeah, they do. They say this one is 50. And what does that block mean? Well, remember, that means that's 90 degrees. So the rule says I take the two inside angles, add them together, and it gives me the outside angle. So the measure of angle KMU is 140 degrees. I'm going to put that right there as well. So let's try another one where we have to use that rule or that angle relationship. So now let's draw this triangle. I'm going to make the top go out like that. That's my arrow. Let's label it. I've got C, B, and this is going to be E. This one's going to be D, this vertice. And I'm going to tell you that this right here is 120 degrees, and this is 60 degrees. And I'm going to say find the measure, that's what that stands for, the measure of angle BDC. So first I'm going to find BDC. So angle BDC. And I noticed that BDC is one of my inside angles. Did they give me my outside angle? They sure did. See how it's outside the triangle? So this one I'll subtract. 120 minus the 60 degrees that they give me gives me 60 degrees. So the measure of angle BDC is 60 degrees. So you're either going to add the two inside to get the outside, or you're going to take the outside minus the inside and subtract it to get the other missing inside. So now let's take a look at how we can use this either to solve for x or find angle measures. So let's look at example 3. So first let's draw our triangle. Let's label everything. I want the top to be I. This is going to be H, J, and P. And I'm going to say this angle here is 5x plus 2. I'm going to say H is 6x plus 4. 6x plus 4. That doesn't look very good. Sorry about that. See if I can do better. 6x, there it is. 6x plus 4. And this outside angle here is going to be 12x minus 4. And the question or directions are going to say find the value of x. So if you'll remember, we write our equation and we solve it. So we use that angle relationship. Well, didn't we say that the two inside angles added together equals that outside angle? So I'm going to write my equation with that. So I'm going to say 5x plus 2, doesn't matter which of the two inside ones you write first, plus 6x plus 4 added together equals that outside angle. So, or exterior is the technical term. So now that I've written my equation, I solve my equation for x. So let's combine like terms. I go there first because I don't see the distributive property. So I'm going to have 11x plus 2 plus 4 is 6 equals 12x minus 4. Next, I'm going to isolate the variable by doing opposites. So the first opposites I'm going to do is get my letters to the left. So the opposite of plus 12x is minus 12x. So I'm left with negative 1x plus 6 equals, that cancels, negative 4. I still need to isolate that variable, so I keep adding or subtracting. The opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So negative 1x equals negative 10. And I do need to divide both sides by negative 1. So x equals positive 10. Negative 10 divided by negative 1 is positive 10. So did I answer my question? I did. It said find the value of x, and I found that x equals 10. So let's try one of these when it asks you for an angle, a specific angle. So this will be our last example, example 4. So let's draw our triangle and label it L, M, N, and I'm going to label this one as I. Now let's plug in our values here. So we've got 6x. This angle is 15x minus 12. And that exterior angle is going to be 19x plus 2. Now, if you'll remember in previous lessons, we talked about how to find, let me write the question first. So for this, we're going to find the measure of angle MNI. So let's find MNI. MNI. Okay, so that's going to be that outside angle that we're looking for. So if you'll remember, in previous lessons, we said we write our equation, we solve for x, and then we plug our value of x in to find what we want. So let's do that. So first, let's write our equation. I know that the two inside angles added together equals the outside angle. So I'm going to write that. 6x plus 15x minus 12 equals, and that outside angle is 19x plus 2. So now I want to solve for x. So it looks to me like I need to combine like terms. 6x and 15x is 21x minus 12 equals 19x plus 2. Now I want to start isolating the variable. So first, by doing opposites, I want to add or subtract, and I'm going to start with my letters. So I'm going to subtract 19x from both sides. So 21x minus 19x is 2x minus 12 equals, that cancels, 2. I still need to work on isolating that variable. Still adding or subtracting, so I want to add 12 first. So I've got 2x equals, 2 plus 12 is 14. Divide both sides by 2, so x equals, 14 divided by 2 is 7. So I have solved for x, but the question says, find the measure of angle MNI. So I'm not quite there yet. So when I look at MNI, I notice that it's 19x plus 2. So I'm going to take what I found x to be and plug that in. So this becomes 19 times x is 7 plus 2. I always use my calculator for this part to make sure I'm accurate. So 19 times 7 is 133. And then 133 plus 2 is 135. So the measure of angle MNI is 135 degrees.